As a developer, you will often find yourself in a role of an API consumer, whether you are integrating third-party services into your application, accessing cloud-based resources, or interacting with internal APIs within your organization. Understanding how to consume APIs effectively is something very, very important. APIs serve as a bridge between different software systems, enabling seamless communication and data exchange. Here are some examples of how developers basically consume API services. Imagine you are building a e-commerce site and you want to incorporate payment processing functionality. So you're going to integrate this with PayPal. By integrating a payment gateway API like PayPal or some other service provider, you can securely accept payment from the customers. Imagine you are developing some mobile app which requires storage, and you might be using Amazon S3 or maybe the Google Cloud Storage to store and retrieve user data and media files. That time also you can use those cloud storage APIs. Within your organization, you might be having various microservices of the backend system that expose APIs for different functionality. You could have an authentication API for user authentication or a product catalog API to retrieving information about available products. Many developers integrate APIs provided by social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram to fetch user data, post updates, or analyze trends. You might be building a location-based application. You might use API like Google Map or Mapbox to display maps, search for the places, or obtain directions. There are several ways to access APIs. You can use HTTP requests. You can use client library SDKs. You can go for command line tools. You can also go for GUIs, mobile apps, and middleware. In my previous episode, we have discussed how to use Python libraries to call the APIs. That's basically nothing but the example for SDKs and the library-based API calling. Let's discuss the graphical user interface. So graphical user interface, Postman, Insomnia, like popular GUI tools, it can be used for the testing and interacting with the APIs. You can download it free from these websites, postman.com and insomnia.rest. Let's go for a demo. And here I'm going to show you, since we talked about how to call it from the SDKs and those libraries. So I'm going to run a Python script, and that is going to give me the weather information for the coordinates I have put in that particular script. So let's run it and see it. The moment this script runs, it is going to give me the information. This is my current temperature, and this is the wind speed. In the backend, this script is basically calling those APIs. Let's take a look how basically these APIs are called. So I'm going to open my Python script, and this script you can see I imported a library which is a request. I mentioned there are going to be the fixed libraries for a particular function. So this is going to be the library which gives me flexibility to call the API. So I'm calling a API which is going to be the open meteor.com v1, and then you need to pass those latitude and longitude information. And the information I need is going to be the temperature and the wind speed. You can modify all these scripts. And from here, it takes the latitude and the longitude information. and gives me the results. However, this is going to be the open API and you do not see any key and the authentication. There are APIs where you need authentication and that authentication can be set up multiple ways.
Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.